We on? Okay. Call meeting to order. Let's stand for pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. Liberty.
Thanks everyone for being here. Additions to agenda or changes. Yeah, we're going to move the quitclaim deed up front, followed by the petition, and then we'll get to the appointment. And we also have an addition on the contract with the Access Brown County. That's just a renewal, so we'll add that. New business quitclaim deed. Kevin, you want to mention that?
Do you want to go and jump to that, or want to, yeah, do that. So this is simply something that's been in process for, I don't know, since 2018. It's been here. That never got completed under the prior commissioners. It is to basically transfer the property that the Southern Brown County Volunteer Fire Department sets on to the trustee from the Board of Commissioners for their responsibility. So I've looked at this. I don't have a wrong with it. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Let me jump in here, just to get one clarification real quick. You there, Mike Moga?
Yes, I am.
Mike Moga? Okay. There was a bill that was going through the House that was supposed to get rid of the trustees. Bill HB 1233. I heard it didn't make it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not
Well, they were
aware of anything that's getting rid of the trustees at this point.
Okay. I'll clear that up, make sure, because they talked about turning everything over to the county. So, thank you, sir. You make the motion?
I made a motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Roll call vote. Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
All right, second agenda item here. It's on the commissioner petition to reverse the zone change of the Tilden property. Let me give you a little background on that. November 19th of 2024, the APC voted 4-3 not to recommend approval. On December 19th, the commissioners approved the zoning on a 2-to-1 vote. Ron Sanders voted no. In January 25, we got a lawsuit filed against us requesting a reversal of voiding that decision. What's new, we started doing some research. Any citizen, including commissioners, can petition to amend an ordinance back to its original version. So we filed that petition against the internal lit sign ordinance to reverse that. We had a unanimous vote by all three of us. And then we have the Tilden rezone decision as well. And Ron Sanders and I voted yes. Voted yes. We agreed to that, and Kevin didn't at the time. That went into the APC on January 16th. We sent that also to the Brown County Democrat. We published the article, Commissioners Petition to Reverse Tilden Rezoning Lighted Sign Ordinance on January 21st. On January 29th, the BZA had a meeting. The request for the travel trailer park was withdrawn by the petitioner. The discussion during that meeting was the fact that the travel trailer park is not allowed in a floodplain district. It's on page 31 of the zoning ordinance. They were discussing that in more detail until the petition was withdrawn. At that same meeting, on the private recreational development, that was a 4-to-1 vote not to recommend. The decision was it wasn't enough detail to assess the effects on the effects of the change. On February 25th, the APC had their meeting, unanimously recommended unanimous recommendation to amend the sign ordinance back to its original version, with the exception of the 2 signs that had been installed. And then March 5th, today, we were asked, not required to, we were asked to have a reconfirmation of our petition on the to rezone or void the Tilden property rezone. Not required, but we were asked to have the vote. So, any discussions, guys?
I don't know if anybody, since it's there's a lawsuit,
There is a lawsuit.
so can we not take public input at that? And
Might ask, Mike, are you online?
Yes, I'm here, and you can take public input as long as it's not regarding the litigation itself. So I asked the commissioners not to mention anything regarding the litigation, but that doesn't impair the public from speaking.
Discussion here on the.
My name is Jimmy Tilton. I am one of the owners of the 85.5 acre property that was rezoned general business by the board of commissioners last year. I was a little surprised today to find myself on the agenda when there has been when no one has reached out to me at all. In fact, I don't think I've spoken with Tim Clark at all since last year. The only correspondence I've had was when you've asked me to resign from the CVC. We have not talked about this. I think this is it's arbitrary and capricious to name a few. I could go into more detail, but I really don't think this is a path that is transparent and open. Is wrong, what you're trying to do. I went through the process. There is a process to follow. I followed the process. And I wanted to have communication with our community on our property, but it feels like we're just being beat up right and left. And I didn't even find out about what your intentions were until someone told me that they saw it in the newspaper. And again, there is a lawsuit that's pending. I won't get into details on that at all, but it kind of seems premature to make an action when there is a lawsuit that's going on. I think you guys are jumping the gun way fast without even talking to folks. That's my feeling. I feel beat up and hurt.
Maybe next steps on this is pretty much we're on the docket. We submit the docket to the area plan commission, and then we make the legal notice within the paper, and that'll happen really after this meeting. We'll send the legal notice paper, and then certified letters go out to all the surrounding property owners. I think there's probably 100 certified letters are probably mailed tomorrow, so you get the official notification on that also.
I'm Bill King. I guess I struggle a little bit with your attitude and how you're treating this guy. I think it's disgusting. So you need to represent the people, not yourself.
Anybody else? You entertain a motion?
Yes, I will.
See if I can get this right. I'll make a motion to petition the zoning to reverse the Tilton property, the 85.5 acres. Is there anything else needs to be on that motion, Mr. Moga?
No, that sounds good. Just to clarify, you're petitioning the APC on the zoning change.
APC.
APC,
That's what the
okay.
petition goes to.
Yeah, we'll put it on to go to the APC.
Okay.
Made a motion.
For a second? I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin, how do you vote?
No,
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. So next item, renew the contract for the Access Brown County, Kim Robinson.
I looked at this and basically looks like it's going through the exercise of renewing support for the grant activity they have under the current contract. I have a problem with this. I'll make a motion that we approve this contract.
Let me ask a question here, I think.
Okay.
Did I see something that said they was gonna bypass the commissioners and the NDOT was gonna deal with them directly?
There was an option.
You see something? No?
No, she came and spoke with Commissioner Clark
Uh,
this morning,
uh,
and they're not gonna go that route. It's an option, but they don't wanna do that.
So they still want to go through the commissioners.
Mhm.
And I remember before that she come in here and had like a 79-page contract. Do we have a 79-page contract this time?
It would be renewing what the
Sorry.
auditor has, and it would keep the process the same. So the auditor's office already knows the process, we know the process, so, and she knows the process, so it would keep all that in sync.
You good with that, auditor?
I'm good with that, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
You made the motion?
Ready then?
Okay, I'll go ahead and second.
Paul?
Okay, roll call vote. Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes. Next item, vacancies and appointments. We have one vacancy for community corrections. We had one applicant. I think we all reviewed for Andy Pennington was the received his letter of interest in his CV. Excellent candidate. I've talked to him on several occasions and asked him to apply for one of these vacancies, so he's willing to participate, get involved.
Okay, I believe his legal name is Patrick Andrew Pendleton.
Okay, correct?
Wow. All I can say is wow. I could have started 50 years ago and never had to press the way this person's got. So I'll make a motion to go ahead and point him to the Community Correction Board.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, last item we have, well, for the new business is the agenda item for votes. Commissioner meeting for March 19th. What we decided our intent on these 2:00 meetings is pretty much to cover just admin related kind of issues. And delay any kind of votes until the 6:00 meeting where people can weigh in and participate. So if you're looking at our agenda items for March 19th, it's a pretty full agenda. We've got the ordinance for the temporary closure of unmaintained parts of Combs Road. We've talked about that at previous meetings. We are limited to 5 years for that. So we'll bring that up for vote next month or in 2 weeks. APC, the internally lit sign ordinance, they unanimously agreed to reverse that back to its original version minus the 2 signs that are up. And that'll be a final vote on that one. We've got a zoning rezone request on Beech Tree Road. That'll come up. And then the 4-H Fair Board is going to have a request for a change to the alcohol policy. Can we allow them to at least introduce that? You guys want to introduce the scope of that change or wait till next meeting?
Just the next meeting.
Okay, all right. Okay, now we're down to county office department reports, human resources.
I have nothing at this time.
Okay. All right, Eric, highway.
Okay, I got a few things. Start off with the CCMG stuff that I emailed you guys earlier today. We need to get that signed so that our consultants can move forward and get our bid docs ready to go for CCMG. So you guys got that.
Yeah.
So I'll need that signed today.
Make a motion. Go ahead and
I don't
sign it.
think it's necessary. I don't know, Mike, is that necessary to do that?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry about that.
So there's basically a document here that came before the board where it's asking us to sign off on approving all the technical drawings that are relevant to Country Club Bridge Road, which is Bridge 111. And that's just part of the process. I don't know that it requires a motion and approval.
Gotcha. So this is just approving like the blueprints?
Yes.
Gotcha. No, you don't have to vote on the blueprints itself. It's the project, the actual cost and everything. You may, it's always allowed to make a motion and vote on each step of it if you like, though.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Yes, Julia?
Minutes in the place.
Yeah, we're gonna get that next after the roll call. I caught it. Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote. Tim, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. The last item on the agenda, approval of minutes and claim.
Hold on.
Sorry.
That's all right. So redid our salt demand for this year as well for the 25-26 season. We're kind of in a pickle since we've had a bad winter this winter. We only had 400 tons allocated from previous superintendent. So I allocated 1,000 tons for this next season. So hopefully that'll allow us to build up slowly and we don't have another bad winter. So I've done that. Regards to the snow plow and salt spreader that was involved in the rollover truck. So that finally got finalized through Chubb, which they send out to a company called Engel Martin. So they went over the damage to the spreader, the plow. The conclusions were that they valued that equipment at $26,050.74. That claim came with a $10,000 deductible. So they have sent us a check for $16,050.74. We get to keep the salt spreader, which we're pretty confident we can rework and we can get it going again without, minimal repair. The snowplow itself is just a $250, $300 repair with some markers and a rubber, deflector on the front. So that works out great in our favor. The truck itself, so we finally finished that deal. I have new quotes for the new truck, be going through Palmer, in Indianapolis and Kenworth and Palmer Power. So just Sourcewell pricing is the best pricing that, municipality can get through the government. So Sourcewell pricing just for that chassis was $141,614. Well, we actually got better pricing than that. I was able to negotiate outside of Sourcewell and I've got it for $134,904. So I was able to actually work out a better deal than government pricing for that truck. So long story short, I've got the breakdown of the new truck, which is $134,904. To upfit it with a new bed and accessories is $52,677.79. Since we kept our old truck and we bought the salvage, we're going to get to take the parts off of that truck, as many as we can, and switch over to the new truck, which insurance had also wrote us a check for $16,920. So that's $16,920 in the good. So, all that being said, the total for the truck and upfitting is $204,501.79. After you deduct what we got from the insurance company and the insurance check itself is $118,920. So our portion is going to be $85,581.79. So in our truck that we budgeted for this year, unfortunately, we were, not for this reason, but we did budget for dump truck. We have $100,000 in that fund to pay for this $85,581. So the money's there. That's what we're going to buy it out of. It'll be a new Kenworth. We'll have the truck within 3 months, but it'll sit up there until August until they get the bed and they build it. But when they get the truck built, we'll go ahead and pay for the truck chassis itself. That saves us about $4,000 if we go ahead and pay for it. And they don't charge, that way Kenworth doesn't charge them for every day that it sits up there. The build dates are going to be August for the bed. So it'll be towards the end of the year when we get this truck, but at least we'll have it for next season.
For the next snow season.
Correct. So there's all the stuff for the truck. You can have that, yeah. I've got copies of the quotes, copies of the insurance stuff, whatever. If you guys want anything, I can forward it to you. So yeah, I mean, guys are busy. We've obviously been hauling stone. We've had talks with Kevin and I. We've had talks with the school corporation regarding gravel roads and snow. We've explained to them, and they're actually very pleased with how things have been going this year. They know, they understand. Their concern is when they close the school is not really the biggest shape of the gravel roads. It's the fact that a lot of their students are student drivers. A lot of our roads are gravel. So they're worried about their safety, more than the buses getting back and forth to school.
So I'll mention also too, when we had that conversation that you mentioned, cold for a couple of days because they were in teen temperatures is one of the reasons why they actually went through and closed the 2 days worth.
Yeah. And, you know, we've tried to let the public know, and I think we've done a pretty good job, but, you know, each snowplow route is an average, 10 to 12 hours. When you got 12 routes, you got 12 trucks, 12 drivers. We've even got another guy, 2 laborers in small trucks running small truck routes. And I ran one of them myself, 2 of them 13 hours. So the amount of time it takes to run the asphalt routes, by the time that's done, our guys are tired. They've worked 14 hours. They need to go home, get some sleep. So it's not physically possible to hit the gravel roads the first day of snow. So it just can't happen. We don't have enough manpower. We don't have enough trucks. We can't divide into it, because the safety is hassle. So we're working on other options, other things to try to do gravel faster. But it's Mother Nature. And of course, this winter's not been very friendly. So we're doing the best we can. I think most people understand. We're very transparent about it. We've had great communication with the schools, the bus routes. So yeah, that's what that is. Thanks, sir.
Can I add something here?
Mhm.
I don't know that Mr. Clark, we're just trying to get everybody on the same page. I was what they considered lead commissioner on the weather event. We've got multi-million-dollar projects coming up, and I can't be up all night doing that and trying to deal with that. We have new ACs going on top of the jail. We've talked about, we're going to try and build a new prosecutor office. We have multiple projects going on, and I need to concentrate on that. So Kevin Patrick is going to become the lead commissioner on the weather events. We possibly got some flooding coming, and we can still get some ice yet. Hopefully we're through the worst of it, but we always get rain in the spring, and it always goes over the road on 135. Mr. Brad Stocksdale, the sheriff, is in on this. You might want to give Kevin your contact number, sir.
You've got it. Unless he's got a different phone than the one I've got.
Well, those are a lot of times 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning phone calls. You might be up all night watching the weather. The last one, did you come in at 4 o'clock on the last one or 12?
They all run together, so I'm
Well,
yeah.
I can remember it. I was up about every hour looking, and at some point at about 5:30 or something, I seen a little bit out there. So I haven't got a little bit. I have a little bit.
So the last one, we started calling people in at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So Trent was actually calling people in. I called people in at 12, and then I came in about 4. And then got started with them, so I could be there the rest of the day when they all left.
They had last trucks loaded on that day at 4:30.
Yeah.
Because the next time I looked out the window, like 10 or 15 minutes later, it was like.
Yeah, that rain just turned everything into ice, and everything stuck real fast.
So, yeah, it was time to move fast on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to make a judgment call. You don't always have time to get a hold of everybody. We closed this building one day at around noon, and I'm glad we closed it when we did, so we didn't have anybody else out there longer than it should have been. But it's a lot to keep up with. There's a lot to this job. So I wish you luck there, Mr. Patrick. Keep it up. Good luck, Sheriff. And if Chad was here, I'd tell him good luck too.
Yeah.
On that text thread is, so I didn't know who some of the people were.
I didn't either.
So
We started,
we're gonna,
everybody just put their name the first.
well, we're gonna, so in the last round, we had Eric and Trent there, but now since we're arm in arm, we'll just keep it to Chad, 3 commissioners, yourself and Teresa, and
Okay.
that way we'll work it out. That's the plan going forward.
Yeah, because it's, when you guys were texting, 4 or 5 in the morning, Trent and I are out plowing, we're in the trucks also. There was times that we didn't have time to look at the phone.
Right.
So it was late by the time we got back with somebody, so.
The other part of that is there was that thread. And I was on the phone with the sheriff, and then I was on the phone with Chad. plus texting Chad also.
Yeah.
I was trying to get a group census before we put it out there
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, and I think as far as my perspective, the communication's been pretty good with transportation, with Brad, with everybody, Chad. Yeah,
So the one thing that also came to the meeting, back to the superintendent, is we'll advise them before we go and we're not taking their input on travel advisory, because that did come up. She simply just wants to know when it's changed. I told her that Teresa would be more than willing to copy her ahead of, at the same time when we're putting it out on public at the website.
Because Chad has to post that and he has to put times on it. And it goes statewide. The only thing I'm gonna say one more thing and I'll be quiet. Brown County's different. And we actually run into that last time because the conversation was, well, the other counties haven't done it yet. Well, my response was Brown County's different. You know, the glacier stopped here. These hills are like mountains, ravines, all that water comes down. And I'm not making this up. Sometimes it's not unrealistic to see a 15 or 20-foot wall. In the flood in '08, I swear some of them trees, it was 40-foot high, water coming down over on 45. So it can go south on you real quick. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you got to make a judgment call. You better make it quick. You know, if the sun comes out later and you got it wrong, thank God.
yeah, and as far as our asphalt went, I think I heard from numerous counties, Sweetwater, their supervisor called me and, he was talking about how great our roads was, because he has to travel our roads on his way home. He couldn't believe it. And other people in the county, as far as Johnson and our surrounding counties, our paved roads were in great shape. It's just unfortunate when you have 200 miles of gravel, it's a struggle. It really is.
I actually live on a gravel road and I thought you guys did a great job,
Thank you.
honestly.
Yeah, just got a couple points. One, I concur everything you said. I mean, we've got nothing but positive comments. There's been a few people are irritated, and I kind of passed that information on. You guys quickly responded. So I don't think people realize the capabilities we have as far as staffing and equipment's probably been the peak that we've ever been in this county, or for matches, if we were ever at that peak. So that's phenomenal. Talked with Kevin, and I think we're going to do a presentation for the community to explain the logistics of that, so people are educated on what it takes and what kind of volume and capacity and resources that we have, so you better understand, what we're doing, why we do it, what the priority is, and where we're shifting. So pretty much captures a lot of what you had mentioned also, but most folks don't know we have 400 miles of roads, don't know 200 miles are paved, don't know that we have PACER ratings on the paved. Gravel roads vary.
Yeah.
As far as the bed, the length, the ditching, and that all has an impact. And then volume is another issue, is what do you hit first, who's a priority, and then you have the safety issues too on people that need to hit the road. So a lot of stuff there. I think we can introduce that to the community and explain, to give you context for the challenges that we have in our county, what makes us unique.
Yeah, and not only that, when you've got, two graders that are, $300,000 plus, the cost to keep them going daily, the cost to repair them, it's $10,000 to put tires on. So, when I first got here, we spent a ton of money fixing equipment. There was half of everything was broke. So to go through and actually get it to where we could use it, and there wasn't bald tires on everything, we spent some money. We had to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that will calm down and slow down the more we fix and the better off we get. It just, to get to that point, we had to fix some stuff. So
I guess my second point, when Eric mentioned about the truck, we did our due diligence on that. You're talking a lot of money, which we spent, and you had different options. And so kudos to Kevin, kudos to Eric, and kudos to Ron. We went in excruciating detail to compare the options, the pros and cons of the different courses of action we could take, and selected the best one. And that wasn't a snap decision. It didn't happen overnight. It took a couple of weeks for us to drill down and talk to all the people involved and to come up with the decision we did on the amount of money that we spent. So kudos.
yeah, like I said, we got almost $17,000 back off of that $25,000 investment, and that's before we used one single other part off of that truck.
Yeah.
So, I think we're in great shape with it. An unfortunate thing turned into a good thing, I guess, maybe a positive.
So, and we have the supporting detail if anybody's interested. So thank you. Thanks again.
Anything else, Eric?
I have to
I don't think so.
at the risk of looking. We didn't approve the minutes of claims.
That's next.
That's my next move.
Don't get out of here without signing on it. So.
I got you.
Get out of here without signing
All
on.
right. Approval of minutes and claims.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of claims.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes. And I'll beat you to the punch. Motion to adjourn.
We still got legal. We got legal. Mike, anything to ask?
I think Max might be up there.
For Max, yeah.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Max Adams stepping in for Mike. Mike didn't tell me to say anything at this point, so I won't.
Okay, see,
So my motion to adjourn,
adjourned, okay.
it stands. Ron, you gonna say
Okay,
anything?
I'll go ahead and second.
All in favor?
We don't have to take a roll call, do we? Meeting adjourned. Thanks everybody for being here.
That's record time.